Glyph have been hard at work producing some seriously fast external storage solutions such as the incredible Atom Pro. And now if you're looking to expand the ports on your computer, then enter this, the Glyph Thunderbolt 3 Dock. There's no shortage of powerful docking solutions out there thanks to the high bandwidth that comes with the Thunderbolt 3 interface. The CalJet TS3 Plus is a very popular choice, or OWC provides a few options, their latest being the Pro Dock, which comes with some super fast ports including 10 gigabit Ethernet. If you're after sheer number of ports, then they are still some of the best options available. The Glyph Thunderbolt 3 Dock is much more basic in comparison with a more limited number of ports, but it carries a hidden secret in the form of internal NVMe storage, and for some pro users that, coupled with the port options, may make this the most attractive option yet. The main purpose of a dock like this one by Glyph is both to make your Thunderbolt 3 enabled laptop more convenient to use, as not only does it bring back more ports that cannot fit into the ever slimming laptops these days, but all peripherals and power supply can be connected to the dock and then plugged into your laptop with only one cable. The same is true here, with an overall metal construction for passive heat dissipation, meaning no noise from moving fans. We have a neat and professional looking design, carrying just the Glyph branding on the very top and some rubberized feet on the bottom to stop the unit from sliding around on your desk. Around the back we find a gigabit Ethernet port. A 10 gigabit Ethernet port would have required either a larger design or active cooling, so wasn't included here. Anyway, further along we have a single USB 3.1 Type A 5 gigabits per second port, two Thunderbolt 3 40 gigabits per second ports, one to connect to your computer whereas the second can be used to daisy chain up to 5 additional devices, a single display port 1.2 and the unit's power input. As with all other Thunderbolt 3 docks, power is supplied by way of a rather large power brick, so you'll need to find some space behind your desk to store this thing. But it does provide power through to any peripherals connected to any of its ports, as well as 87 watts of power delivery to your connected computer through one of the two Thunderbolt 3 ports. That's enough for the Macbook Pro 15, but falls just short of the requirements of Apple's newest 16-inch MacBook, although enough to keep it topped up under most standard usage. Note that the DisplayPort is 1.2, but when used alongside the second Thunderbolt 3 port, the dock can run dual 4K displays at 60Hz, or a single 5K display also at 60Hz. Moving around to the front, we find 3.5mm microphone and audio ports, a UHS 2 SD card slot compatible with transfer speeds of up to 270 MB per second, another USB 3.1 Type A port, and a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C port. All in all, that may not seem like a huge number of ports, especially when compared to something like the CalJet TS3 Plus or the OWC Pro Dock, but it's easily enough for most users, myself included. Personally, I like the fact that my most commonly used ports are easily accessible on the front of the dock. I do wish it had 10 gigabit Ethernet, although a 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter connected to the second Thunderbolt 3 port on the back solves that issue for me. What's even more helpful is the built-in NVMe slot, which can be accessed by removing a single panel from beneath the device. The unit can be purchased with an NVMe drive already installed with several capacity options available, or empty as in my example here, leaving you free to install your own Gen 3 NVMe SSD, complete with a heat transfer pad pre-installed on the lid for better heat dissipation. Speeds are rated at around 1500 MB per second, so there's no advantage to spending extra on the highest performing drives, but that's easily enough to be used as a 4K video editing drive for instance, meaning no need to carry a dock as well as a separate drive. Users can simply ingest their footage or images from their SD card straight onto the internal drive and get straight to work too. And there's the beauty of this device. It may not have a huge array of port options like some other docks, but we have an all-in-one solution here thanks to the built-in NVMe capabilities. Whether you choose to use it as basic storage, for time machine backups, or even as your main editing drive. If you're after sheer number of ports, then the TS3 Plus or the OWC dock may be a better option. But if you're always on the move and want a dock to take along with you, then the Glyph Thunderbolt 3 dock comes well recommended.